Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and this video, which is going to be my anniversary video for September. The goal of this series is to look at an eyeshadow look which I did a year ago and recreate it with my current skills. So here's the inspiration picture from September of 2021, and this is my recreation for September of 2022. I used 4 palettes to get there, and if you would like to see how I did it, then just stick around. If you're new here, hi, my name is Rachel. I'm a homeschooling stay-at-home mom. I love to play with colorful eyeshadow, I love the creative expression of it, and I upload about 3 videos a week, all eyeshadow related content. So if you like what you see, I hope that you'll consider liking and subscribing. Alright, I have a plan for today's look. Remember, the inspiration picture, which I'll put up here, was done a year ago and it was brown and blue, and I'm trying to remember what palette I used for it. I had a lot fewer palettes at that time, so I don't really remember. But anyway, I'm going to use 4 palettes to recreate it. I have Blueberry Muffin from BH Cosmetics, Limoncello from Colourpop, Blue Moon from Colourpop, and Elva 2 Mini Forest from Udensai. And I'm just going to tell you my plan really quickly. I'm going to start with a dark brown from Blueberry Muffin. I'm going to blend it out with a lighter brown from Limoncello. There's a dog hair in that. Charming. I'm going to grab a blue, although I have no idea which one, from Blue Moon, and then I want to use the blue shimmer in Elva 2 Mini Forest to put on top of the blue. So that's the plan as far as which palettes I use, and in today's video, I'm just going to chat. I'm feeling kind of tired. I'm feeling tired. Part of it's pregnancy. I get winded immediately, just right away. I have pretty low energy. And also, I've got allergies right now, which are making my eyes feel tired and heavy and just, you know, that sort of feeling. So I'm going to play with eyeshadow and it will brighten my mood a little bit. I'm going to start with the Glam Light Icing Primer. I use the shade White Frosting. I recently watched a video Angelica Nyquist posted. She wasn't feeling great. She was just having some, mental health stuff going on. She was feeling kind of blue and wanted to see if she could improve her mood by putting on orange eyeshadow, because orange is like her favorite color. And it reminded me of a time when I did a video like way in the beginning, one of my earliest videos. And I had gotten in a car accident that morning. It was a really minor fender bender, but it was really frustrating. And I think it was the day before my in-laws were coming into town, and we had a brand new car, and we were going to be using that car on a road trip out to the West Coast with my in-laws, and it was just, it kind of all like, the timing sucked for me to get into a fender bender, but fortunately everyone was okay. It was just more annoying than anything else. But I remember sitting down and going, you know what, I just want to play with eyeshadow. I just wanted to be creative, and it was amazing because by the time the video was done, I didn't have anything particularly fascinating to talk about. My eyeshadow look wasn't that great because it was pretty early and my skills were not as developed, and I don't know, I felt so much better when I was done the video, and it had nothing to do with putting on makeup. It had nothing to do with how I looked. It was just the experience of being creative, of taking my mind off of the frustrating situation and putting it onto color and texture and like the tangible, you can feel sorts of things. Being creative and letting that creative energy and the creative juices kind of get going and move and experiment with different things and try something new, and I just felt better afterwards. So when I saw Angie's video about not feeling great and wanting to, like mentally, and wanting to do eyeshadow in an exciting color for her and just be creative, I totally understood where she was coming from. And she did say at the end of the video that she was like, I do feel a little better. Not a great day, not stellar overall, but I do feel a little better. I just realized I think all 4 of my palettes today have mirrors, so that's kind of handy. Sometimes I'll grab a few palettes that might not have mirrors, and I end up like back and forth between palette mirror. It's a bit untidy, but anyway, I think all 4 of today's palettes have mirrors. So I'm going to start in Blueberry Muffin. I'm grabbing an eye blending brush from e.l.f. This is round and pretty dense, and I love the brown shades in this palette. They're really, really good quality. So they're both pretty dark. I'm going to start with 350 Degrees, which is the lighter of the 2. And I want to keep this in my outer corner and kind of low. I'm trying to... I think and I feel like I still tend to put my shadow a little bit too high. I don't like it to kind of touch the eyebrow. I like it to be a bit lower now. So I'm gonna make it my goal to keep the blend pretty much on the brow bone and not go much higher than that. Which means that I have to take my original color and keep that low as well. So that's what I'm working on. It's just a matter of fine-tuning my technique a little bit to be what I want it to be, like the end result. I just don't want the color touching my eyebrow, and I still tend to do that. Not as much as I used to. I certainly have gotten a bit better, but I don't really want to do that. So I'm just placing this color down, and then I'm going to blend it out with a lighter brown. I might deepen it a bit later, but first I'm going to blend it out, because if I add in the deeper shade and then I go to blend, I might accidentally grab some of the deep shade and blend out into my transition color, and then it wouldn't be blended anymore. So with a looser but rather pinched blending brush, I'm going into limoncello, and I think I will take the shade. Do I want to go more brownish or more orangish? Orangish? Orangey? I think I want to go more brown. This is a brown and blue look. So I'm going to take the shade Semifreddo and dip in really lightly and just put it on the edge of this brown to buff it out a little bit. My mom gave me, this is so random, but something to chat about, right? My mom gave me an electronic toothbrush, like a battery operated little spinny head toothbrush. But this is not any old electric toothbrush. This is like electric toothbrush on steroids. The thing has got Bluetooth. It has Bluetooth. It's a freaking toothbrush. I don't know what to do with that. I mean, it came with instructions. I don't have any interest in having my toothbrush connected to Bluetooth. I understand the marketing side of things, like the selling points, like, oh, you can connect it to your cell phone and you can download the app, and then you can get these customized brushing feedback and instructions and everything. And it has all these different features, like you turn it on and then you can choose which mode you want. There's a polishing mode, a brushing mode, a tongue brushing mode. What else? There are like 6 modes, not even kidding. I forget what it's called. It's something I don't even remember. But anyway, it's an epic toothbrush. It's got its little charging stand. And I was like, well, I needed a new toothbrush. And this one was free. She got it from her dentist when she went for an appointment. So she's like, I'm never going to use this. So she gave it to me. And I was like, free toothbrush. Sweet, free ring. Yeah, free toothbrush. Hooray. I guess, sure, whatever. I've never used one like this before. Yeah. I never used a toothbrush where you didn't actually have to engage your arm muscles. I didn't know where to start. I actually had to read the manual, which sounds so lame, but it's true. I read the manual for my electric toothbrush because I was like, what do I do with this thing? And then I plugged it in, and I didn't use it the first night because it needed to charge, but I used it the second night that it had been plugged in. And let me tell you, it was a weird experience. It was a lot of vibrations in my mouth, like more than you would get at the dental office. I don't know. It was a lot. And why do I keep blending this? I don't need to blend this anymore. I'm going to deepen it. I'm taking a much smaller blending brush and going into Decadent within Blueberry Muffin, just a little bit deepening this outer V. So it was just a lot of vibrations in my mouth. It was a little bit nauseating because all of that attention in my mouth with like these intense vibrations and the sound, and sometimes, you know, being like never having done this before, I might close my mouth when I shouldn't have, so then it would like chatter off of my teeth. It was this is so stupid. I'm so sorry. But it was a weird experience and I didn't really like it that much. It was slightly unpleasant. And like I said, a little nauseating. And that, I don't know, maybe that's because of the pregnancy. But my stomach's pretty sensitive and a lot of things will make me nauseous, and so that was not a surprise to me that I started feeling a little bit ill while brushing my teeth. However, it did a really good job, and when I finished brushing my teeth, they were feeling quite clean. So I guess it did its job. I guess it did a good job. I don't know. It was a lot. It was a weird experience, and I wasn't a big fan, but I needed a new toothbrush, and it did seem to do a good job. So maybe I just need to get used to it and not close my mouth and just like, I don't know. It was also louder than I expected. I went and hid in my closet so I didn't wake up my baby while I was brushing my teeth. But it was a weird experience. Me and my electric toothbrush. All right, I like how that's looking. Now I want to bring in some blue. I think there are really only 2 matte blues within the Blue Moon palette that I can really use. I'm looking at Moonlight and Starry Eyed. And why not? I guess I'll just use both. I'm going to take a denser and slightly larger blending brush going into Starry Eyed, which is the darker of the two. And I'll place this on the lid. I'm going to keep it a little bit lower on the lid because I'll use Moonlight to blend it out a bit. But I'm just going to dip back into the pan and lay this down from the inner corner all the way to meet the brown mats. The first time I did blue and brown, I thought that it was going to be sort of a weird combo, but I had this beaded gown, which I thought was beautiful, and it was blue and brown, and I would look at it and go, those colors just seem weird to me together, but they worked in this blue and brown gown. It was floor length, it had a tiny little train, it was all covered in beads, and it was really beautiful. I wore it to a few weddings before I outgrew it, but anyway, I had that gown, and it was just the unexpected blue and brown combination that I had never thought of. So I decided to give it a try on my eyes, and I liked it. And then I had seen a few other people doing it too. I was like, okay, it wasn't just me. It's pretty, right? Now with a smaller blending brush, I'll go into Moonlight, which is a lighter blue matte, right on the edges of this. And it's gonna soften and slightly brighten as well. Now the blue did take over a bit of the brown space, so I'm going back in with my original blending brush in the original shade of 350, and I'm just adding in more brown. I'm gonna meet with the blue, but I don't want the blue and the brown to overtake each other. I want them to meet and then have a slight fade, but I do want each one to have its own space on the lid. And I like to do a slight angle this direction, like angling up and outwards a little bit. I just prefer the way that it elongates the look. And so I'm making sure that I bring that 350 down a little bit further here towards the lashes. And I guess with the same brush, just because I'm here, I'll dip back into Decadent as well and deepen it a smidge. Now I'm back in the Blue Moon palette and I'm adding in a little more blue. Remember, blue and brown are not going to naturally blend into each other. So at some point, like if you have two colors that are never going to blend, at some point you have to just accept where they are. Like you can get a decent or reasonable amount of fade and transition, but there's still going to be a clear line of two distinct colors. And that's what we've got with blue and brown. Like one side's blue, the other side's brown, and you can have a little bit of overlap, but it's not going to be seamless. It's not like blending blue into purple, where you've got the same base tone and one will just naturally, seamlessly blend into the next. That's not going to happen with blue and brown, especially if you've chosen a cool tone blue with a warm tone brown, or vice versa. Yeah, not going to happen. So at some point, you just have to accept where you are and say, okay, that's good enough. Now it's time for the lower lash line. I'm pretty much going to echo what I did above. So with a smaller, pinched, and loose blending brush, I'm going into Semifreddo within Limoncello, and I'm going to lay this down in my outer corner of the lower lash line. Make sure I meet the color in this outer corner. The allergies themselves make my eyes feel very tired, and they get watery, they get really itchy, and sometimes they get red. I'm just trying to put the shadow in a place that isn't being bothered by the allergies, or if my eyes get watery, I can sort of, deal with them from there instead of messing up my shadow. Now that that's laid down, I want to grab a smudger brush, or you could also use a really flat brush like this, either one, and go into the shade Decadent again, and lay this right next to the lashes in the outer corner. Gonna deepen and smoke out that brown a little bit. Speaking of smoke, if you guys saw a few videos ago, I did a blue, like a dramatic blue smoky eye, and most of my video was spent with me going, I don't know if I'm doing this right. And I got a few really helpful comments down below from people who watched the video, and I also decided to go on YouTube and watch some other videos of people doing smoky eyes, and it was interesting because there were basically two different kinds of smoky eye. With a small pencil brush, I'm going into Moonlight, and I'm going to take this in the inner corner and then wrap it onto the lower lash line. So the one kind of smoky eye is a much more subtle, everyday, still pretty, but not glammed out sort of smoky eye, where it's just mainly brown shadows and then a little bit of black just at the base of the lashes, fading up slightly. And that's a very doable, unintimidating smoky eye. It was really pretty, and I found some helpful videos on how to do that well. And then there's the other kind of smoky eye, which is more along the lines of what I was trying to do, which is really heavy and dark with some sort of color. You could do all black, or you could do, dark blue or dark purple or whatever, but quite heavy and dark, usually starting with a black liner all over the lid or black gel all over the lid, something like that. So I was thinking I might do a video talking more, like the whole video talking about smoky eyes and the different styles, and then maybe doing a smoky eye, and I would probably link in the description box of the videos that I found helpful. If that is something that would interest you, then please let me know in the comments, because I mean, I can do all this for myself. I don't need to make videos about it if you guys don't care. You can also do your own research if it's something that you are interested in. Just let me know if you would care to see something like that. Okay, so here is basically the eye look. I do think it's quite pretty. Now I want to take the Elva 2 Mini Forest palette from Untitled. There's a beautiful blue shimmer inside this palette. Now I'm going to start it with my finger out of curiosity, really. I want to see how it would apply with my fingers, and I'm going to lay it over top of the blue matte. I'm pretty sure in my inspiration picture I didn't have any shimmers. I believe it was an all matte look, but I don't remember exactly. Pretty sure it was all matte. But I just wanted to use this blue shimmer because it's pretty and I haven't used it in a while. Honestly, the Untitled shimmers are so beautiful. They're so light and soft. They're like the finest milled glitter that I've seen so far in shimmers. And they just lay down in this beautiful, soft, cloud-like sort of way. They're lovely. And I think that's it. I think that's pretty. I'm going to take the shade Big Splash from ColourPop Creme Gel Liners and line my waterline, although it would look really nice with white as well. But I think I'm going to go with blue, just because I want to stick with the theme, and white would be really nice for lightening up the look a good amount, although this blue will do the same thing because it's a light toned blue. And there you go. I'm going to go off camera. I'll finish the other side. I'll finish everything, and then I'll be back to show you how it all turned out. Alright guys, here's how it turned out. I think it's really lovely. I put on a winged eyeliner and some mascara, and then I'm not wearing anything on my lips, but I did put on some blush today. This is the Super Shock Cheek from ColourPop in the shade No Vacancy, and I have a bit of highlighter on from BH Cosmetics, but I'm not putting anything on my lips because I feel like I have enough going on up here. I do have mascara, and that is everything. So again, I like the look. I think it turned out really pretty. I actually like it with the little bit of sparkle, where the inspiration picture I'm quite sure was all matte off the top of my head. I really wanted to use that sparkle from Udon's Eye because I haven't used it in a while and I know it was really pretty. And because it was a light tone blue, I thought it would work perfectly with today's look. I hope you like the look. Thank you for being with me and for hanging out with me today, for clicking on my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more. And until I see you on my next video, I hope that you have a great day. Bye.